and welcome to a brand new episode here on Carmlan's Farm. So as you can see, the epic drill end to our week is carrying on. We've got absolutely tons and tons and tons to do. And as you can also see, we've got a new seeder, and the tractor is handling this seeder much better. Same width, 9 meters. It just needed lower horsepower requirements, that was all. And as I say, the tractor is handling this seed drill absolutely wonderfully. So not much really. I haven't really done that much off camera, to be fair. You know, I do like to try and keep you all you know, sort of in the loop, so to speak. All I've done is, the one thing I don't never show is I've just fed the animals and sorted them out, and that's pretty much it. I've got the little vent going now. He's now subsoiling that ground, so he's doing that, which is good. And then the two other Kubotas, they're out. One's mulching, as you know, and the other one is ploughing. So they're, you know, trying to keep ahead of the drill, because, you know, although we've got a lot of land now to drill, I don't think it's going to take that long. And as much as I don't want to do it, because it's not the way I play the game, I might be bringing tramline into an end. And I might be getting rid of the sprayer, because the thing is, we mulch and plough every field, right? So weeds aren't going to grow, so we don't need a sprayer to spray the weeds, right? These seed drills and the planters are more than capable of holding fertilizer. So the way I look at it is, why do I need a tramline? I can put fertilizer in the seed drill, and we can, you know, be putting fertilizer down with the seed, and we can do it all in one pass, because we've got so much work that we need to do now, you know, in terms of all the productions and everything else, that, I mean, I'm going to have to tramline this field. There's no, because I haven't put no fertilizer in, so these two wheat fields I am going to have to tramline. You know, there's no way round it for me, you know, but moving forward, and maybe this time around on all the fields I will tramline, but moving forward, I just don't think it's going to be a good use of our time to be tramlining when we don't need to be, quite frankly. You know, and that's the thing, is, you know, we now need to be very efficient, and we need to be able to get our work done quickly, efficiently, and keep moving on to, you know, all the other jobs that we need to do. And tramlining is, it's the way I've, you know, it's the only way I've known how to farm, you know, and therefore I do it because I like it as well, you know, because the tram lines do look pretty cool. But this isn't necessarily about being a realistic series in the sense of, say, like Farm Manager or Sunny Side Up or whatever, or any of the other, you know, farms that, you know, or saves that I tramline on. But this is about a 200 horsepower challenge, you know, which we've kept to. I'm still undecided about the blooming cotton thing, because it just feels wrong that I'm using a machine over 200 horsepower. I know no one's doing it, and, you know, I've kind of carried it on. I've carried it on because we've now reached the point where, you know, I wanted to get to. I thought we would get there a lot quicker, but we didn't, you know, and we've now got there, and now I would like to sort of kind of probably even play this one now until the end, until 2025 comes out, because like I say, I like it, and I've not really played with productions and what have you, and sort of done whatever. So but I am torn with the cotton thing, just because the rules were set out and everything, and I know I'm the only one sort of, or I appear to be the only. I might not be but I can't find anyone else that's playing it, and I do kind of sort of think to myself, well, it's okay now. In a way, you've completed the challenge because you've got to the point where you said you would get only using 200 horsepower. But as I say, there is a small part of me that kind of sort of thinks, yeah, but to use the cotton harvester, but there is no other way I can do it. I have had a look, around all of the mod sites, and I can't find any other way of harvesting cotton for 200 horsepower or less. So I don't know. I'm undecided, but I probably will go for the cotton harvester. I should have bought the one yesterday. In yesterday's episode, I mentioned about there being a case cotton harvester in the used vehicle market, and I thought, oh great! I thought what I'll do is I'll load the game in, and then I'll do my intro. Then I'll sort of say I've had a quick look. There's a cotton harvester in there. We'll buy it, and and that's what I was going to do. And I loaded the game in. I did my intro. Went onto the shop page to buy it, and it had gone. So it kind of I mean, I wouldn't know how to do it anyway, but it kind of proves that I don't just generate machinery that I want in the USAL. I wouldn't know how to do that anyway, but rest assured, on any save I don't do that. It's either coincidence or just good luck or whatever that the machines that I may talk about then come up on sale. So as I say, it's very hard to see the tram lines, the marker lines, bout marker lines. There we go. I always do put, now I was asked this by Chris, and he said, why do you always mark the last sort of breed around the headlands? And I said, one simple reason. So in real life, it doesn't really matter on Farming Sim, but in real life, as I've said many times before, I use the bout markers and GPS for drilling. Now, the reason why I use the bout markers, even though I'm using GPS, is, as I think I've probably said the story before, where one day I was drilling and I wasn't using the bout markers because our GPS didn't need to. And what happened was that the GPS went down. I'd gone off to fill up with seed, and when I come back into the field, I'd sort of set my tractor up to sort of carry on, and the GPS was down, and then it started coming over the radio, that all the other lads' GPSs were down. And of course I had no idea where I was in the field. And the other thing that I'd done as well, because I had GPS, and it was one of the first times that I had used it for drilling, because again, always did it freehand, but on the second farm that I went to, I was asked, drill with GPS please, on every field. So it was one of the first times that I was using it for drilling, and because I was using it and because I thought it was fantastic, what I'd done was I'd gone through the field and drilled all of my tram lines. So I drilled all of where the tram lines were going to be, and all that left me to do then was to drill in between. And the reason I'd done that is because, in theory, I wouldn't have to turn so tight on the end, so therefore I wouldn't do as much damage to the soil, you see. There was method to my madness, and the farm agreed. Adrian, the farm manager, agreed. Yeah, absolutely, you go for it. because it gets back to the field, say that the GPS is now not working, and I have no idea where I was in the field. I literally had no idea, and I rang the boss man and I said, look, GPS has gone down, I've done it this way. I said, I've got no idea where I'm supposed to be. And he said to me, he goes, well, you was using your markers, surely? And I said, well, no, I didn't need to, I had GPS. And he said, no, we always still use the markers, because should GPS ever fail, you know where you are. And I was like, yeah, well, you didn't tell me that before I started. His response to that was, don't start blaming me for your troubles. Now you need to sort it out and get on with it, because I need that field drilling today. They had a sort of kind of rotor, and what happened was that so when a farm does vining peas, which we did, what happens is that sorry, I just can't work out. There we go. What happens is that every farm is given a day and a date on which to drill. Now, obviously, that's weather dependent, but it's set out so that the viners always get to the fields as they're sort of turning, ready for vining, so they're fresh, so that they haven't started to sort of shrivel up or whatever. So you're sort of given a map and a plan on when to drill your fields and in what order, because obviously they need to move the viners around, and some of our fields were on main roads, so they wanted to be those fields overnight, so they knew that they wanted to go sort of here, there, and then they sort of timed it so that overnight they were moving down the main roads and across the main roads to get to the next fields. And it was just so that it was sort of less impact on traffic and everything else. And we then sort of carried that through with our drilling regime for our cereal crops. So rape would go in at this point, barley at this point, wheat at this point, and you would have sort of periods. So you usually have sort of 1 to 2 day periods where you would have to put those crops in the ground so that they could be harvested in a set order as well. It didn't always work out, but mostly it did. And the reason why I used the back markers and GPS is because of what happened with the drill. But the reason why I mark the outside of the field is, in real life, when you're coming up to the end of the field, the headlands turn round. If you've drilled the headlands first, you can't always tell where the drilling ends. Where the sort of field that hasn't been drilled ends and the headland sort of where you have drilled begins. Just sometimes you can't tell, and so with me putting a mark all the way around the outside of the field, I know that when I get to that mark, to start slowing down, put the marker in when the drill, and this is a little bit of guesswork, but you can now look along the line, and because you know where the drill because you know where the mark is, you could then start to see the slight difference in the ground, but also as well, you can sort of try and eye measure it, as I call it, as to when you're sort of getting into the drill and then lift up. Now I did that on the farm that didn't use GPS for drilling, so that was the first farm, so that I used to do that. On the second farm we use GPS. It's all the GPS lifts in and out of the drill and does all of that good stuff. So it sort of wasn't as necessary on the second farm, but on the first farm, because they didn't use GPS and because you was having to sort of drill it freehand, I needed a guide as to roughly where the field ended and the headland drilling began, so that I didn't overlap by a great deal. And it was a fairly sort of successful way of doing it. I don't think I ever overlapped all that much, but You know, I don't know. It's, once the crop cart starts growing, you can't really tell as such, but yeah, so that's the reason why I do it. As I say, it's just as a kind of mark, and I do find as I play sort of farming sim, I sort of do play the game exactly how I used to do everything in real life, which makes sense, I guess, because it's sort of the only way I know to do it. And as I always say, you know, just because I do it that way doesn't make it right. It just makes it the way I do it because it's easier for me you know, to get the job done right, sort of thing. So, you know, sometimes you have to sort of adapt your own techniques and your own systems and your own sort of, you know, things to, you know, to sort of get it right. But yeah, so I can see in the top right that the two Kubotas have finished their fields, so that's the mulching finished completely now, and the ploughing will just move on. The sunflower field is the one that he's just finished ploughing, so he's now on to the other wheat field that we did, and then he's got that other rape field that we did, and then that's that all completely done then, and all that's left for me to do is then drill every single field. We're rapidly running out of hay, so I need to do that. And this is another reason why going away from tramlining is gonna be better for us in the long run, because I can put courseplay on seed in the fields, you know, and so therefore, you know, again, I might just do the headlands just so as it doesn't miss anything, and then same trick with the combine really. You know, if I do say 3 breeds around the outside or 4 breeds around the outside, just put courseplay on 3, and then it will always overlap, because overlapping on farming sim doesn't really make no, you know, it doesn't matter. So yeah, as I say, that that's the way I do it. That's the way I roll, and it works for me. So, you know, carry on doing it. The other thing that I did have done, actually, one thing I have done off camera, as well as feeding the animals, is I have now bought a new tractor, and I've also bought an animal trailer. Now, I'm going to put out a little bit of a warning, probably a week in advance before the episode goes out. If at all you are squeamish, if at all you are not good with blood and death, probably don't watch next week. I will put it in the title description just so that people do get fair warning. But yeah, if you're or against, see, I don't see it as animal cruelty personally, but so basically what's going to happen is we're going to put a slaughterhouse in for the pigs, and the slaughterhouse that I've got is quite graphic, as in it doesn't hide nothing. It shows you from start to finish. So like I say, if you know, if you're, you know, vegetarian, if you're, you know, vegan or whatever it is that, you know, your beliefs are, that and you don't watch next week, but it won't feature in every video, and if in any video that it does feature in, there will be a warning in the description, either in the title or in the description, so just check out the description. But I will try and remember to put it in the title so that you don't even click on it. So yeah, but I kind of just sort of, you know, feel that I need to put that out there, just because, I mean, you know, I have one or two little things that I don't like, and I would appreciate it before. I would still probably watch it, but I would appreciate the pre-warning that it's in there so that I can kind of prepare myself for it. So yeah, but anyway, I'm going to switch over to some time lapse. We're going to get all of this done. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move the Kubota. So before I start recording for the time lapse, I'm gonna run quickly down to the store with one of the Kubotas, get another plough, and and then we'll have 2 ploughs on the job. That will get all of the ploughing done, and then yeah, we will be we'll be good to go to get all of the seeding done. As long as I get the seeding done today, I might do the planting off camera. I don't know yet, but as I say, I might do the planting off camera, just because you will have seen quite a bit. I don't know. I mean, I might get all of it done in this episode. Who knows? But it's unlikely. But you never know, because we've got that huge, massive field where the soybeans were last year to drill. So that'll take a while. But at least it is 3 meters wider than the 6 meter drill that we drilled it with last time. So yeah, you know, we may be okay. But anyway, as I say, I'm going to get this little bit done, and then before I restart the time lapse, I will go and get another plough, because as I say, although we don't really need it this time round, we are going to need it for next time, because we've got all those other fields and I want to buy more land. I need more hay, so therefore I need more grass. And yeah, I just want to go mega. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. And I'm back. So we got a little way through the drilling. I finally, I think, figured out this blooming seed thing. Yes. You can tell that normally I don't do this sort of. Although actually, I don't do this this sort of thing normally, but I have actually quite enjoyed doing it this way. I have, I think, come up with a better solution to this though. So what my plan is to put an auger under here, or an elevator underneath there, so that it goes above that, so that the forklift's not attached to it. So it goes above that, so it'll be like here somewhere. It will keep producing the bags. Just keep try and get it so that it's still facing the way that it is at the moment. If I can do it that way. So if I could like have the auger sort of come across sort of that direction, as long as it goes above the hopper, then it doesn't really matter. But so still that's that way. Get one of the single bag lifters, push it out the other end. Just keep pushing the bags out the other end, and then with either a front loader or another forklift, I can then just keep shifting the bags into the shed and putting it underneath there for when we need them. So yeah, that's the sort of solution that I've come up with. But right, we need to extend. No, we don't. What am I doing to extend? No, we're drilling, James. We're drilling. I don't know why. It just kind of entered my head that I'd finished the drilling, but I haven't. I barely started, man. Right. It was already down. Let's go. So yeah, as I say, we've got some of the drilling done. Now the blooming wheat field, I forgot to roll that. So I skipped forward to today so as to start this episode. And yeah, I forgot to roll the blooming wheat. So that's not gone down too well with me nor Giants apparently. So because their game now won't let me roll the crop, even though in real life, if it was a little bit wet to roll it before it came, before it chitted and then came through, as long as the plant wasn't majorly high, but had only just sort of come through, so like growth stage 1 on the game, then you can still roll it and it won't do the crop no harm. And in some in some cases it does actually do the crop better to roll it after it's come through. On the second farm that I work for, we did that quite a lot, because we were so busy trying to get everything in, that it was generally we would roll them when the crops was already up and through. But as I say, we never found an issue with it, and they're still doing it today. So it's something that they clearly, sort of, as I say, don't have a problem with. But yeah, so that's been this episode. We've got the grapevines all done now, so we'll just move on now to the the tree one. What are they? Olives. We'll just move on to the olives, and we'll get them done, and job will be a good one. I'm not a huge fan, I've got to say, of this drill. It's the biggest thing for me is it's really hard to see where the markers have been. So I'm not a huge fan of this seed drill, but it's something a bit different, and it will do grand on this save. So like I say, we'll be persevering with it, but there are one or two little bits about this drill that I'm not that keen on. As I say, but we will be persevering with the drill, because it's ideal for this save, because so far, touch wood, this Massey Ferguson, I was about to call that a John Deere, this Massey Ferguson is pulling the drill absolutely no issues on the hill so far, and out this side of the river there is a lot of hills, and they are very steep as well. So the fact that at the moment it's managing it with no real issues means that it will be staying, because it's nice and wide and it's easy to pull. So as I say, you got to see the New Holland as well that I purchased, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, so anyway, I think I'm going to leave this video here for now. As I say, we've got quite a bit done, and I'm just off camera. I'm just going to sort of carry on with a little bit of drilling, just so that, you know, we don't end up having 4 or 5 episodes of drilling. So I'll sort of mosey on through it for a bit and sort of get a decent way in front, and then when you come back next time, there might be just the odd drill, odd field still to drill or plant or whatever, and we'll be able to, as I say, be able to have then an episode of something a little bit different, because as I say, I like to try and keep the episodes as much as I can, you know, with different jobs in them, just so that try and keep them interesting. And hopefully I do, but apologies if I don't. But as I say, that's the reason why I do it the way I do it. But yeah, if you haven't done already, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It really does help the channel. And all that's left for me to say is thanks ever so much for joining me on this episode. I've really enjoyed having your company, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.